everyone, my name is Lauren and welcome to my library. So today is going to be a little bit of a book unhaul, I think. I've been looking at my shelves lately and I'm feeling really overwhelmed with how many books that I have, and the fact that my reading tastes have changed over the years and I haven't really gotten rid of a whole lot of books. So I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to go through my shelves and just pick out a few that I'm not entirely sure I want to read, or things that I have already read and I'm not planning to reread them. So I'm just going to go through and we're going to see what kind of books I'm going to take off my shelves for now. And I don't know if I'm going to donate them or if I'm going to try and sell them secondhand first. I'm just not really sure what I want to do, and I just know that some of these books don't bring me joy anymore, or I'm not really hyped about them like I used to be. So I'm just going to go through and we're just going to see what happens. So I've put my camera on the wide angle and I'm just going to go through. I can't be bothered to move my chair because it's so big and it's hard work. So I'm just going to go through and see what I don't really want anymore, and we'll see how that goes. So I've done a really quick unhaul. I've got quite a few books because I'm just not feeling like I'm going to read them or reread them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 23 books here. So I'm just going to go through them really quickly. A lot of them I have read and I'm not going to reread. Almost all of them are. So let's just get into it really quick. We've got Who Runs the World by Virginia Bergen. I picked this up, I want to say in 2016 when I went to Europe, and I went to Waterstones there, and at the time I wasn't really a huge reader. I just wanted to read something and I didn't really know what I wanted, and I saw this and I was like, this is such a feministic book. It's all about women and how there's like no men in the world, and I was just like, I wanted to read it, and I read it and I was just like, one and done. I don't really remember much about what happened, but I just remember being like really unhappy with the plot twist, and I was like, I wish it didn't go that way. So that one. I also have Once and Future by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. I just feel like I'm just really upset that I didn't love this as much as a lot of other people have. I've seen a lot of people raving about it, but I've also seen a lot of people DNFing this book. I DNF'd it. I just felt like maybe it was a little bit of a younger age range than what I want to be reading at right now. I just felt like there wasn't really much high stakes. There was like a lot of jokes during the intense moments, and it kind of just like lightened the mood, and there was just, yeah, it wasn't for me, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go and unhaul this one as well. I also have Darkness Follows by L.A. Weatherly. I picked this up for $3 at like a bookstore, some sort of pop-up bookstore, and this is the second book, and I didn't even know until I got home, and it sounded good, but now I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't even want to try and find the first book. I've never seen this in the bookstores other than that pop-up bookstore, so I don't even know where I would find the first one other than online, and it just seems like a lot of effort, and I'm probably not going to read it. So I've got the hiccups, excuse me. It's gotta go. I also have Username Regenerated by Joe Sugg. I've heard a lot of things about this. I found this was like $2 at QVD on sale, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I love graphic novels. And then I found out this was also the second book, and I don't know where the first one is, and it's like really expensive online, I'm pretty sure, when I looked it up. And I also heard some weird things about Joe. He was like a YouTuber or something, and he wrote the story, but he didn't draw any of the graphics. And it was just like this huge thing, and I was just like, I'm not sure, because there's literally no one else's name on this, and if he didn't write the graphics, then I don't know what it is, but I'm not gonna get the first one, so I'm not gonna read it. So another one I have, this one's a bit dinted. It is Royce Rolls. I asked for this from my Secret Santa at work when I started reading. I'm pretty sure, again, it was 2016, 2015 or something. I was just getting into reading, didn't know what I wanted, and I thought this was a contemporary. It sounded alright. It's basically them going from like being really high and like getting a lot of money and things like that to being poor, I feel. I'm not sure. I just made that up probably, but that's what I remember it being about. And I never read it, so I have this little shitty cheap one. I think I paid like $1 for this, maybe. Small paperback of A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. I haven't read this. I watched the movie and like it was alright, but I think I got this from Bookfest, like probably when I was still in high school, so a long time ago, and I've never read it, and I don't plan to read it. The writing is really small and not really spaced. There's like no paragraphs, and I'm not here for that, so no thank you. I also have Dinner at Rosie's by Danielle Hawkins. I read this a really long time ago, and I remember liking it. I didn't love it. It was just like, okay. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I remember liking it and not loving it. It was just like this girl's family member was dying or something, and she was inheriting the property, but there's a boy next door, or she was coming to look after the family member that was having issues with their health, and that she just fell in love with like the farmer next door or something rather. I don't know. I think the grandma tried to like set them up together, but that's all I really remember about that. I have Speechless by Hannah Harrington. I honestly don't really remember much about this. I have no incentive to reread it. I think it's just about a girl who hurt someone and with her words, and decided that she wasn't going to speak anymore because she felt like she didn't want to hurt anyone else. And at the time I read it, it was like really important, and I still think it's an important story to be told. I just think that I'm not going to reread it. And then we have Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. I remember reading this. It is about someone who just turned 18 winning the lottery in America, and while I liked it, it really annoyed me because I've said this before and I'll say it again. In books, when people win the lottery, they never spend their money correctly. Like, I understand why there's such a high percentage of people who win the lottery become bankrupt, because they have no idea of how to spend or save or invest their money properly for it to be a long term effect. Yeah, and it annoys me when people don't use their money wisely and just like spend it. Like, I remember the person buying like a Ferrari or something in this, and it really made me mad. So I was like, no, I don't, no. I also have All Rights Reserved by Gregory Scott Katsolis. I didn't love this one. I felt like the message was very important, and the storyline and things like that were definitely something that is still relevant in this day and age. I read it a few years ago now. I don't really remember much about it. I just didn't like how it ended, and I never wanted to continue on with the series. So I'm gonna say goodbye to this one. Another one I have is, oh, what is this? Oh, I didn't even realize that. So I have The Frozen Beginning by Daphne Robinson. I won this on Goodreads when you could still enter Goodreads competitions worldwide. That's not a thing anymore. It's only Americans that can do that. But I've just opened it, and it's like she signed it and dated it, and it's got a little thank you card and a little author card. That's super cute. Oh, that's so nice. And I ended up never reading it. I read the reviews on it, and it said that it was like a rip-off of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And while I loved that, they also said that this wasn't anywhere near as good as that. So I don't know if I'm not excited about it as I used to be. There are a lot more books on my shelves that I feel like I'm really excited about reading. So this just isn't one of them at the moment. Another one that I won is 4 Weeks, 5 People by Jennifer Yu. I have heard a lot of mixed reviews about this. A lot of people have DNF'd it, and a lot of people have said that it's got great mental health representation in it. And while that was why I entered the competition to begin with, because I was hugely trying to read as much mental health novels as I could, it's not something that I feel I am as interested in now and invested in now as I was before. I feel like I'm in a very good health, mental health wise. I am in a very good place right now, and I think that this is just not the story that I need to hear right now. I have You're the Kind of Girl I Write Songs About by Daniel Herbo. I picked this up for $2 at a book fest in Ipswich, and I read it. It was okay. Like, it wasn't great. So I'm just this one. I don't have anything to say about it. Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. I didn't really like this one, I don't think. I don't even remember anything about it, but I remember it being like a sort of like a mystery type book. Thriller. But like, I know the plot twist now, even though I don't remember it. And I feel like once I do get into this book again and reread it, I would remember it. So then it's like, I kind of ruined it for myself. Thrillers are kind of like a one and done for me, I think. Even though this is like the only thriller I've ever read. But yeah, I'm just not for that one. So the last stack, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. So I've got Forgotten by Kat Patrick. Shane gave me this for my birthday, I believe, or he went to a secondhand or an op shop or like a thrift store and found it for 50 cents and bought it for me. And it was one of the ones that when I first started reading, I had taken a picture of because I'd wanted to read it, and I didn't even know until like I read the blurb, and I was like, oh my god, I remember reading this blurb before and wanting to read it. So it's basically about a girl who forgets her name and forgets everything. So she can remember the future, but she can't remember the past, and it was like, it's crazy. So I did enjoy this one. I just don't feel like I'm going to reread it. You or Someone Like You by Chandler Burr. I did read this at some point. I don't remember anything about it, and I'm just probably not going to reread it. So this one. A Tragic Kind of Wonderful by Eric Linston. I read this one. It was really sad. It made me upset, and it was definitely a very hard-hitting novel and something that I wanted to read at that point, but I just don't think I'm going to reread this one. like the rest of these books. It was enough to have read it once. Like, it stuck with me. So I have Enthralled by a whole bunch of authors. This is a paranormal, what do you call it, anthology. And I didn't know that when I bought it. So I'm not really a huge paranormal person, so I'm not gonna get to this one. Now, please don't be mad at me for this next book, but Red Rising by Piers Brown. I bought this because everyone freaking loved it, and if you saw my January wrap up, I rated this 2.5 stars. I didn't like it, and it's definitely not giving me any reason to read the rest of the series, even though Shane right now is reading them and loves them. He's like smashing out all of them, and this one kind of put me off the rest of the series, and I was just like, I don't care how good the other ones are, I don't like this book, so I don't want to read the rest. So the next book I have is I Was Here by Gail Forman. I know this author is the same one that wrote If I Stay, which came into like a Hollywood movie. I did enjoy that one. This one I don't remember anything about, and I'm probably not going to reread it because I have so many books on my shelves that I need to read, so I'm just going to put this one in the pile. Oh, that's what I need to do as well. I also have I Am Number 4. I have the other books here somewhere. Rise of 9. Where's the other one? There's another one in here somewhere. I'm just going to get rid of these because I read the first one, but I'd already seen the movie when I bought it, and I couldn't stop picturing the movie, and then this was all different, and it really annoyed me, and I didn't even make it halfway. I only made it 130 pages, and I was like, I'm done, and I just never picked it back up again, and that was years ago, so I'm just going to get rid of these, and the other one when I find it. And then I'm also getting rid of the 5th Wave and this series when I find the other one on my shelf, wherever it is. Because I read this one, the 5th Wave, the first book, was so good. Like, I really enjoyed the first one. And then the second one and the third one were like trash. So I was just like, it ruined the rest of the series for me. Like, this is now tainted because the rest of the series, like, it should have just stayed with one book and that would have been a good ending. And I'm just happy. I would have been. I should have just stopped at one book, but I didn't. I have the whole series and I don't want them anymore. So those are the last 2 books that I have to talk about. So all of these books I'm probably going to be unhauling at some point in my life. And yeah, if you are a part of the Lovers YA Book Swap Sell Facebook page, I will be putting these up there at some point if you want to buy them. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!